Hey, our dear students. There's a chapter in class 9 book, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, and it is written by Sudha Murthy. So the story is all about a child named Sudha who's sharing her experience with her grandmother. The story is quite emotional and it teaches us the importance of education. Now let's start the summary of the chapter. So the story begins in this way. Sudha, who used to live with her grandparents in a village when she was young, her grandmother loved listening to stories. Sudha used to read stories to her. Why? Because her grandmother did not know how to read and write. Unfortunately, she did not get opportunity to read and write. So she couldn't learn that. She waited for Sudha to come home from school so that she can listen stories from her. So every week Sudha used to read her a story called काशी यात्रे. उस स्टोरी का नाम था काशी यात्रे, जिसको कि वो रोज आकर के स्कूल से अपनी ग्रैंडमदर को सुनाती थी. Her grandmother used to enjoy that story. She enjoyed and she wished that her granddaughter would continue reading for her again and again. But one day what happened, Sudha had to go to attend a wedding for few days. Now during that time, what happened, the next part of the story was published, but her grandmother did not know reading part, right? She felt so helpless and sad. She was so dependent on others at that time that she was feeling miserable. She was so dependent on others at that time that she was feeling miserable. And on that day, she decided she will learn reading and writing both. Because of her determination, at the age of 62, she decided that she will start learning alphabets and then will jump on reading and then writing. So from Sudha, who was her granddaughter, she started learning Kannada alphabets. And at last, of course, she mastered the language and she was able to read for herself. And finally, she started reading stories herself. On the day of Dashera, she touched the feet of Sudha as a sign of respect because she was considering her as her guru, as her teacher, because she made her learn, read and write. Hence, what message we are getting from the story is that learning has no age. There is no foundation of age when we want to learn something until or unless we are determined for that. Apart from that, there is another message that we can have, that education makes independent. It gives us independence completely. We don't need to depend on anybody else when we are educated enough for ourselves. So at least you won't need to be dependent on anyone. Alright, so this was all about the summary of the chapter. And of course, if you want line by line explanation,